dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Governor Matt Bevin declared a state of emergency today due to the weekend flooding. This after many counties had already declared a local emergency. That was the case in Martin County, where floodwaters swept away cars, destroyed personal items, surrounded homes, and even got into a few. WYMT's Marion Fletcher rode around with an emergency management official to check out the damage.
Homes flooded, yards destroyed, and vehicles swept away.
As soon as a flash flood watch comes out, start paying attention to the weather.
Jordan Wheeler is the Martin County Deputy Emergency Management Director.
I don't think it hit quick enough that people couldn't have evacuated themselves. They just didn't until it was too late.
He and his crew worked constantly to keep people like Diane Sarton safe.
It's nice to know there are people out there who will come and help.
Sarton has lived here for 18 years.
And it's been so close to us, but it had never gotten in on us.
Now she's working to clean up the mess left behind.
So much to clean and get rid of and dry out. You know, it's going to be a big job.
Right here where I'm standing, there's only mud, but a little more than 24 hours ago, around 7 feet of water covered this backyard.
I woke up at 6 and came out here, and it was like rising really quickly.
The flood nearly reached this home. Maylee Fletcher and her sister Cammie are grateful it did not.
I am very, very, very thankful.
Wheeler has a safety message for anyone in the flood zones.
If there's any water on the roadway, better safe than sorry, don't drive through it.
Cleaning up the county in Martin County. Marion Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, if you live in Martin County and have flooding damage, officials ask that you call Martin County Emergency Management at 606-298-2082. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell addressed the flooding here at home today in D.C. He praised first responders and the help thy neighbor mentality of Eastern Kentuckians.
It may be a difficult road to recovery, but Kentuckians are already pitching in to help their neighbors in need. My staff and I are ready to work with emergency management officials and will continue to monitor the situation closely.
Now, Estill County has multiple roads that are still flooded and impassable. It's forcing some people who live there to make major adjustments just to get through the day. Now that the water is receding, George McIntosh made his way back home. He and his son left Friday in a truck. They returned today by boat.
The rise in the water was quite fierce, really. It started coming up real quick. And we've been here long enough to know that when it starts rising like that, it's time to get out.
Estill County schools were among several school districts that were closed today due to flooding. Today we heard some amazing stories of survival across the region. One in particular grabbed our attention. In Johnson County, a mother and her children lost much of what they own. WYMT's Lauren McCourt talks to them about what's next.
How do I even begin to tell this story? While others begin to clean up from the weekend flood, one mother does not even know where to start.
You don't know where to start or go.
Marcia Sexton, a single mother of 5, woke up Saturday to a typical morning. She started by doing laundry, but never realized later that night her world would be flipped upside down.
Losing everything you work for is what's hard.
In no time, reacting turned to surviving.
When it went off on our phone, it was already on our porch.
That's when her motherly instincts kicked in.
When we grabbed all the kids and got out.
Her 2 oldest sons tried to help their mom save some belongings, but the water rose too quickly.
We started getting stuff together and we knew we didn't have enough time, so we tried to rush our way out of the house.
The only thing on their mind at that point, save each other.
Get them out of the house before it got in.
Coming back home the next day became extremely difficult for the Sextons. Seeing the house they worked so hard to rebuild destroyed.
So we really have nothing left.
Leaving them lost and confused.
Which way to turn, you don't know what to do.
On what to do next. In Johnson County, Lauren McCourt, WYMT Mountain News.
Many families in Johnson County were impacted by the flooding. If you would like to make a donation, you can contact the county's resource center at 606-789-2500. Many Tennessee counties declared a state of emergency, including one many eastern Kentuckians visit often, Sevier County. Several roads near Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge are damaged due to rock and mudslides. A lane of one road even collapsed.
Well, most of the rivers are starting to go down, and that's because of the sunshine today. And the good news is we are going to see plenty of sunshine over the next couple of days. You can see that here on our National Weather Service camera. Sunshine has really impacted our area throughout the day, not really a cloud in the sky. It's been an absolutely beautiful day. Seeing much of the same story on our Stonecrest cam. You see that sun setting, and it's going to be a beautiful, clear night, but a little bit chilly as well. Now, we still have some flood warnings out throughout our area, and those aerial flood warnings over into Wayne County. Those are going to be until about Tuesday. Even the one up into Leslie and Perry, see that little sliver of green, that one's through Tuesday. And then we see those other flood warnings for the Kentucky River, Cumberland River. Those are going to be in effect really until we see those rivers go down out of flood stage. But the good news is if we scan the skies now, we are looking at a clean sweep, and we are going to see that continue at least over the next few days. Temperatures, they're into the upper 40s to lower 50s across our area. So a little bit chilly today, but we're going to see those temperatures warm up quite nicely over the next couple of days, and I'll have more details on that coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Paige. Lawmakers were back in Frankfort voting on some legislation today. If passed, one Senate bill would change the way the court handles lawsuits against the governor and other state officials. Hillary Thornton explains how.
Well, it is extremely rare for Kentucky's Chief Justice to testify on a bill here in front of lawmakers, but today that happening as he urged a committee to not pass Senate Bill 2.
It does have ruinous effect on the Court of Justice.
Chief Justice John Minton talking about the bill that he says would have a big financial impact and would wreak havoc on the circuit court system. The bill filed by Senate President Robert Stivers would allow state government agencies and officials named in civil actions to take the matter out of Franklin Circuit Court by requesting a judge change. Franklin Circuit is where most constitutional challenges and state government cases take place. Some of those heard by Judge Philip Shepard, who recently struck down the pension bill and who Governor Matt Bevin has called a political hack. President Stivers, however, saying despite that and other high-profile lawsuits involving the governor, that this bill did not come at his request.
I've really not had any discussions with him in a while.
Others who also support the bill say what it is about is too much authority being given to Franklin Circuit.
Doesn't that give weight, an undue weight, to the judges that sit in that circuit or to the voters that vote in that county? Isn't there a risk that it over-politicizes that judicial circuit?
Chief Justice Minton refraining from going too far into the contents of the bill, but did say he fears the language is too broad, potentially impacting any kind of case, even divorces, when it involves a state official or employee.
Don't do this to the system.
Despite those pleas from the Chief Justice, the bill did pass out of committee. Hillary Thornton, WYMT Mountain News.
If this bill passes, the special judge would be selected at random. Michael Cohen is scheduled for 3 rounds of testimony, including his first public hearing with the House Oversight Committee Wednesday. Cohen will also meet privately with Senate and House Intelligence Committees. Democrats are expected to grill Cohen about President Trump's taxes, businesses, and finances. In the private sessions, Congress will likely probe Cohen about Russia-related issues. The president's emergency declaration to fund a border wall is facing some new criticism. A bipartisan group of 58 former national security officials say, quote, there is no factual basis, unquote, for the proclamation. That comes ahead of a House vote on the Democrats' resolution to block the emergency declaration. 16 states have filed a lawsuit challenging the president's declaration. Several groups, including the ACLU, are also suing the administration. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, 2 people are arrested after a large meth bust in Knox County. We'll tell you what else deputies found.
And we are on track to be the wettest February ever at the National Weather Service in Jackson, about 5 inches above average for the month of February. Now, coming up in just a little bit, we'll talk a little bit more about those sunny skies, warmer temperatures, and the possibility of another system moving into the mountains.
Monday morning, crews were out early looking for a 53-year-old man they believe fell into the North Fork of the Kentucky River sometime between Saturday morning and Sunday afternoon. Straight ahead, hear about those search efforts and who the man they're looking for is.